So I'm now going to throw out a pretty crazy idea to you, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you may think it's a smart idea. Some of you might think it's a terrible idea. You know, if you're listening on YouTube or if you follow me on social media, you know, hit me up in the comment section or tag me on social media and let me know what you guys think about this idea, okay? Here's what I think. I believe Bill Belichick should heavily consider leaving the New England Patriots organization. I'm going to say it again. I think Bill Belichick should definitely weigh his options, and I believe Bill Belichick should seriously consider leaving the New England Patriots organization. And why do I say that? I say that because Bill Belichick has an opportunity to try to go and coach Deshaun Watson or Justin Herbert. The LA Chargers are probably going to be looking for a new head coach by the end of the season. If Anthony Lynn is fired, that's a job spot open. And right now, the Houston Texans, they don't have a head coach. They don't have a general manager. Bill Belichick, he can slide right in. He can coach Deshaun Watson, who to me is a top 5 quarterback in the game of football. And just like Tom Brady, you know, leaving New England, I could see Bill Belichick having success with another franchise as long as there's somewhat of some stability at the top, okay? Now, I will say Bill Belichick, he is 68 years old. He's been coaching for 26 years in the National Football League. I don't know when Bill Belichick is willing to, you know, hang it up and say, I'm done coaching. But for now, I'm going to assume that Bill Belichick wants to at least coach for the next 5 to 7 seasons. I could see Belichick coaching for another good 5 to 7 years. The guy seems very youthful despite his old age. And listen, man, if there's an opportunity out there to coach a quarterback, I should say, like Deshaun Watson, or if the LA Chargers, you know, come knocking to Bill Belichick's door, if they fire Anthony Lynn, I think Bill Belichick should really consider taking that opportunity, okay? And there's some other potential good jobs out there. You got the Chicago Bears job, which might be open. Matt Nagy's on the hot seat. Mike Zimmer in Minnesota's on the hot seat. You know, Doug Peterson, it might be on the hot seat. Zach Taylor might be on the hot seat. You know, what's his name? Bill Belichick very well could find himself coaching Joe Burrow. But listen, I think the Houston Texans have more talent on their roster than people are willing to give them credit for. And I do believe Deshaun Watson is a generational talent. I believe Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback at the moment. And Tom Brady decided to leave the rigid culture of the New England Patriots. And he's having some great success in Tampa Bay. Why can't Bill Belichick say, hey, I've been in New England for, you know, over 2 decades. Well, actually 2 decades. He's been there for 20 years. But I've been there for over 15 years. I've won 6 Super Bowls. I've accomplished all I probably can accomplish here. I think I've reached my ceiling. I'm going to coach Deshaun Watson. I'm going to go coach Justin Herbert in the big-time LA market where I can bring in free agents. Okay? Justin Herbert and Deshaun Watson are 2 very talented quarterbacks with one problem right now. They don't have a head coach that I believe in. Right now, the Houston Texans, they're searching for a head coach of the future, and it's pretty obvious to me that Anthony Lynn is not the right head coach to maximize Justin Herbert's talent and to win games long term versus the Andy Reids of the world, versus the Mike Vrabels of the world, versus the Sean McDermotts of the world. The Chargers, they need to upgrade a head coach, especially when you play in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So the Chargers, if they're smart, they'll fire Anthony Lynn and they'll try to pay some top dollars for a top-of-the-level head coach. And I think Bill Belichick would be the perfect fit to turn around the Los Angeles Chargers franchise, and I believe he'll win a lot of games with Justin Herbert. The same thing can be said for Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson's excellent, and I believe that Bill Belichick could take over as the general manager of the Houston Texans because they don't have a general manager right now, okay? They need a head coach as well. He's shown the ability to take on the GM duties. He's shown the ability to be a great head coach. He's won Super Bowls. He's arguably the greatest head coach of all time. And we know what Bill Belichick can do with an all-time great quarterback in Tom Brady. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson is anywhere close to a prime Tom Brady. He's definitely more talented than a prime Tom Brady. But as far as, Tom Brady, coming through, winning all these Super Bowls, I'd be dumb to say Deshaun Watson's on that level yet. But Deshaun Watson, he has the potential to win multiple Super Bowls. He's talented enough. Why should Bill Belichick not look at that big-time opportunity and say, man, I can coach Deshaun Watson and Cam Newton. He's fine. He's good, but I think Cam Newton is past his prime. I think Jarrett Stidham is not the answer at quarterback for the New England Patriots. How bad must Jarrett Stidham look in practice? Because Cam Newton has not been very good for the Patriots this year. And Bill Belichick has not even entertained putting Jarrett Stidham in a game. He has not even entertained it. Jarrett Stidham must look awful in practice. And the Patriots, if they move on from Cam Newton, if they don't think Jarrett Stidham is the future, well, you're going to bring in another quarterback. He's got to learn that complex system. And you're probably going to have to maybe draft a quarterback. If you don't trade for a Matthew Stafford, if you don't sign a Dak Prescott, it's going to take a while for the Patriots to be a top-tier team once again. I think they could be a playoff team next year, but I don't know if they're quite on the level of Baltimore, Kansas City, et cetera, et cetera. So, Bill Belichick, start fresh if you can. Again, Belichick might get some heat for leaving town the year after he misses the playoffs in New England. But ultimately, if Bill Belichick succeeds with Deshaun Watson or Justin Herbert and he wins big and he gets the Chargers or the Texans to a Super Bowl one day, he will be praised mightily. And there'll be no doubt in pretty much everyone's mind that Bill Belichick probably was the driving force in that dynasty. Maybe not Tom Brady so much. So ultimately, I think Bill Belichick probably is going to stay with the Patriots. However, I will say, if I'm Bill Belichick, I'm weighing my options. And I would definitely consider an opportunity to coach Justin Herbert or Deshaun Watson, because that's an opportunity that a lot of head coaches should not want to pass up. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.